In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why we blame other people. Hey guys, it's Abby and welcome back to another video. So, have you ever gone about your day and something really bad happens? Maybe you lose your keys or you lose your phone or you lose something that's really important. And the first thing you do is you think, who else has been around this? Who else has been in my house? Who else has been in my car? Because clearly they did something with my possessions and now they have lost it. It couldn't be my fault. It couldn't be something I have done and I've lost them and it's my responsibility to find them. No. They've done something else. Have you ever been in a situation in which maybe you drop something, right? And it breaks or something to that degree. And you're like, why did you do that? You made that loud noise and you made me drop this. Why did you do that? If you would have been more quiet, if you wouldn't have done that sudden movement, then I would not have done this thing. You've caused me to do this. Or if you would just stop acting the way you did, then my emotions would change. That's the most common way, in my opinion, that you see this, because it can be very sneaky when you blame someone else for your emotional reactions, your emotional outbursts. If you could just not get your feelings hurt all the time and not be so sensitive, then I wouldn't have to respond this way, right? How often have you heard that? Has that been part of your life? Have you ever noticed that you're the one blaming? And have you ever been on the opposite side of that blame? Whatever the situation that you've experienced, it doesn't feel good. And the worst part of all of it is it doesn't actually help. Brene Brown actually has said that that blame is you discharging anger. You have all this emotional discomfort about the situation that happened, and you're going to blame it, so you're going to let it all out. So the analogy that I like to think about when thinking about blame, it's like you have this really heavy box, and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot carry this box. This thing weighs too much. Here. And someone hands it to you and they give you that box for you to hold. That's what happens when we blame other people. We're taking something that we don't want to deal with, that we can't handle. I believe that we're capable of handling anything that we're given by the universe. That's why we're given it. And if it feels heavy, that means it's an opportunity for us to grow and to be stronger than where we are currently. It's just like if you think about resistance, right, and weights. Well, you lift weights and you build your muscles. You allow your body to adapt, your soft tissue, your muscles, all of that, and then they grow. And they're given a little more resistance, they're given a little more challenge, and then they grow and they're able to hold more and more and more. They're able to do more and more and more things. The same thing when you have this big box, analogy, if you're just able to sit with it and process it on your own, then you're actually able to grow. You're actually able to use that situation, the intensity of emotions, and crack through to something deeper. So the huge thing that happens with blame is that you are giving away your power. Because if it's somebody else out there who's caused you to react this way, you're just a helpless victim that has no input in this situation. You literally are just a domino in a series of dominoes, and you never have any say about who starts it or when it stops. So realize that when you blame other people, you literally are giving away your power and ability to take accountability and responsibility for the situation. And when you don't have that power, you don't have control. And whatever you don't have control of, you can never change and alter that, because it's beyond your power. And it's not true. When we're able to sit with those emotions, that when these things happen and we're upset about it, and sit in that feeling and allow it to process through our body and just breathe. What is it that is so bad? What meaning am I giving this situation? What have I put on a pedestal of importance that now I am having such a response to, because it's not happening the way I think it should happen? Potentially the universe is trying to teach you a lesson in importance, and to not prioritize and put these things so far above that they wreak havoc on the rest of your life. Now that's the first point about placing blame on other people that I want to talk about, is the fact that when you do this, you're actually only doing it because you're uncomfortable. And maybe somebody else is doing it to you. They're uncomfortable. So I think that that's really important to understand why people do this. They feel uncomfortable and they want to blame you. Here's the heavy box, I can't take it. This is weighing me down, I don't want it, you do it. Okay, so understanding that can help you emotionally discharge from what's going on, whether it be you or the other person that's experiencing this blame. Now the second point is I want you to sink in a little bit deeper and realize that whatever it is that you're blaming somebody else for, if you're in that situation, that the origin of that is actually inside of you. That actually that person is only holding space as a mirror to project and to illuminate something inside of you. The origin of that, you're blaming that person, you're pointing the finger, and it's reflecting back just as a mirror. If I was looking into a mirror right now, I would see myself. So that person is actually holding space for you, is holding an opportunity up so you can see yourself more. Now the uncomfortable part of this, obviously, is we have all this emotion and we want to blame that person, but really it's reflecting part of us. So when we have that urge to blame, as difficult as it may be and as uncomfortable as it may be, the question that you can ask yourself to evolve from this, to get more self-awareness from the situation is, where do I, find, if I'm saying that this person, maybe it is something where they don't believe in you, right? If you believed in me, then I would have more inspiration to do this. In that situation, asking yourself, where do I doubt myself? Because I want to blame this person for not doing this thing that I feel like I need. Where am I not meeting that need for myself? Because I guarantee that if you start breaking down these situations in which you want to blame somebody else, not only you're going to have more power when you start understanding, whoa, hang on, what role am I playing in this? And then the even higher, realm of control would be, how is this reflecting a subconscious limitation about myself? That is one of the most powerful things and the biggest gift someone could give you is to stay there while you are being reflected back to yourself. They are literally giving you the chance to illuminate yourself back. The light, the truth wants to come out. That limitation inside of you, either it be doubt or fear or whatever it is seeking expression so that you can see it. Now, when you make the mistake of thinking that it's about the other person, you lose that opportunity to build a bigger awareness about yourself and to understand yourself just a little bit more, which is going to help you evolve in your consciousness. And earlier I heard the quote from Einstein, and I don't remember the exact phrasing, but it basically is, you don't get to a solution from the same level that the problem was at, right? You have to have a higher level of consciousness so that you can see that problem differently, and then the solution comes quite naturally and easily. Because just the same, if we were on a maze and we were looking and there's, all sorts of barriers and we can't find our way, if we were in a helicopter, we look down, it would be so simple to find the solution. It's very easy, but it's more about our perspectives in that situation that limit us. So when you have that urge to blame and you think that it's outside of you, that source is outside of you, that the reason for this is them, realize that's a moment to really have a greater understanding of yourself and realize that you can have gratitude for this. Yes, there's going to be a lot of flooding emotions. We said from the beginning that blame is you trying to basically let out anger, frustration, right? These negative emotions, discomfort. So in that, right, when you're looking to have an outlet to express it, to relieve yourself of that tension emotionally, and I'm asking you to sit in it and say, hey, maybe, and even just consider, maybe it's not them. Maybe the origin of that energy is actually inside of me in this moment right here. I can be grateful for because it's giving me the opportunity to see myself in a different way so that I can evolve and ultimately see the world in a different way, because my perspective and my view is going to change, and therefore my life gets to change. I get to undo this limiting belief and allow more abundance and love into my life, because all that's keeping us from the ultimate abundance and love in this world, it flows freely. And the only thing keeping us from it is the idea that we're not in it. It's the isolation and insulation that we create by having these limited beliefs, by thinking it's somebody else, by, giving away our control when we realize, oh, okay, oh yeah, I see that when I say that they're not loving me in the way that I feel loved and it's their fault that I feel this way, really, there are ways that I'm not loving myself, that I can provide that for myself. And guess what? When you do, and when you are able to give those things to yourself first and foremost, it will naturally flow to you, because you're allowing and opening up that floodgate, and also showing people how to love you that way, because you do it and they see you do it. And it flows naturally and be so much more multiplied when you're able to do it for you first. And yes, we do need interaction with others in an interdependent, symbiotic relationships. And it is vital to our survival. And also it is imperative in any real connection that you see yourself fully. The more fully you can see yourself, the more truly you can be intimate with others. And intimate meaning into me you see. Right? You're allowing them to fully see you, and they're allowing you to fully see them. So next time you go and you have the urge to blame others, remember that there's one thing: you're giving away your power and showing them that, hey, I just want to dispel this energy. I'm going to give you this heavy weight. It's an opportunity to grow. And it's on the second point, it's an opportunity to have more self-awareness, realizing that the source of that feeling actually resides in you, and where in your life is that coming from. It's going to allow you to see yourself more clearly, and therefore more clearly see what is going on in that situation, and to evolve into a higher level of awareness. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please click like. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and the bell notification, which lets you know the second I release my next video, which is every single day. And I'll see you on the next one.